I'm Dr. Ben Newman. I study coronaviruses and I have done for 24 years. I've read a lot of papers on the molecular biology of coronaviruses, written a couple, but mostly read a lot. And so I'm here to try and answer your questions with the best science that is out there. So the next question comes from Maya, and hello, Maya. Yeah. And the question is about a website by a group calling themselves Principia Scientific. I don't know if you've heard of these, but everything on this website is wrong and wrong in a way that's basically intended to deceive and hurt people. Unpicking this thing is kind of like, a Nigerian prince scam or something, going through all the reasons why those are a bad idea. This is that level of, there's nothing sincere about the site. There's nothing attempting to inform. It is just pushing an agenda and in a way that will hurt people. And so, yeah, I don't know. Somebody's got to, yeah, push back. Looks like it's going to be me. So fine. Yeah, hopefully somebody else will as well. Yeah. Let's go. So, among the claims on this site are that the virus has never been clinically isolated. The SARS coronavirus 2 has never been clinically isolated. It's been isolated several hundred times from different people. So, I don't know what they mean by this. It's wrong in the same way that if you're holding a coffee cup in your hands, and not the coronavirus coffee cup, and I were to tell you that coffee cup's not actually there. If this is philosophy class, we'd say, whoa, you've opened my mind or something. But in the real world, this is still a coffee cup and it's very much there. Yeah. So, no, that's just lying about something that is right there in front of you. That's really weird. Um, Previous complaints that we've picked up on this, our little discussions, are that, let me tell you what they've done. So the virus has been isolated from people that have COVID-19. The virus has been given to animals that did not have COVID-19, and they have gotten various diseases, generally involving the lung and the sort of inflammation that we see in humans. And it varies a little bit depending on which animal model you're talking, but several animals, and similar disease, macrophage involved lung disease. The virus has been isolated back out of those animals. And the virus has been sequenced on the way in, sequenced on the way out, and they've taken the sequence of the virus, used that to make a DNA copy, made RNA copies of that, put it into cells, and got back out the virus, which they've then also put into animals and got back out of animals. So every possible way that it can be conceivably done to satisfy Koch's postulates, which are the way that we know that any disease is real, they have been done for this virus. More so than for a lot of things that you probably think of as very, tried and true viruses. Yeah. These are difficult experiments, and they've been done very well by many different people in different parts of the world. And so, yeah, if you're saying it's not done, that's just a lie at this point, or extraordinarily poorly informed. At which point, anybody that doesn't know these things, that hasn't read those papers, basically has no business commenting on anything to do with this, or rather, their opinion is non-expert. And so, once again, this is an outsider, non-expert opinion from people that, frankly, if they hold these opinions, do not know what they're talking about. They're getting basic things very, very wrong, and seem to be doing it with an agenda. If I don't know that this is a Russian attack site, like designed to influence people or the election or whatever it is they're trying to do. If it was from them, this is exactly the sort of site I would imagine. Just sort of chaotic nonsense, like sowing the seeds of madness. Yeah, yeah. That is what we are looking at here. That is what this looks like to an expert. Yeah, just nonsense. So some of the other things, and the headline on the page is that the CDC has admitted that nobody actually died from COVID, or rather only 6% of the people that died from COVID. Yeah, which again is a lie, and either is really, I don't know, they don't understand the facts, or they haven't looked things up, or it's just an intent to deceive. And Yeah, frankly, I think it's probably just intended to deceive. I don't see any other reasonable explanation for this. So, what they're basing it on are the statistics that say that. So, first of all, if you want to comment on things like this, if they want to, regular people can do whatever they want. But if you're going to put this out there and claim to be an expert, what you need to do first is look at the guidelines for actually declaring a death a COVID death. And the guidelines are pretty strict, and they are very bureaucratic, and there are lots of pages of them. Part of the guidelines is that in the medical professional or coroner's opinion, whoever is filling out the death certificate, they have to be of the professional, medical, or coronarial, however whatever the adjective word is there, opinion that this person would not have died except that they had COVID-19. And then, as part of that, they are supposed to list any other comorbidities, any other things that potentially also are going wrong and may have contributed, but were not the tipping point, were not the thing that pushed this person over from alive to dead. So, among these, it says there are many old people, and you can't just assume that because a person is, I don't know, over 60 years old, that they're automatically dead. Yeah, the grandparents of the world would like a word with you for your terrible wrong idea, right? Yeah. Yeah. So being old does not mean that you automatically die. I think that's the idea that they're trying to run with here. Um, and so they're also basically attempting to say that they know better than the people scattered all over the U.S. who are the professionals in charge of filling out these forms. And it's different people for every death. Even if one or two of them decided to go off the rails and call everything a COVID death, you'd still have all the other ones. And yeah, there's no way to gimmick the numbers in the way that they're suggesting. So what they're saying is there are 6% where there is no other attributable cause. These people were in perfect health, and you can't find anything. There's no tooth decay or whatever on these people that could have been a cause. And that's frightening that, COVID can take you out when nothing else is going wrong. But we know that there are underlying factors that can contribute to the risk, but also that COVID is the thing that puts you over the top. And so, also on the page, they either repeat or make the claim that the president is repeating that COVID is basically a hoax designed to get him out of office, and that it's, they don't say it on this particular page, but the rest of that lie goes that it's going to disappear on the day after the election. This is a particular virus, and it's got 30 genes, and all 30 of the genes are related to the 30 genes or so that are found in other coronaviruses. And they're in a particular order, the same order that you have in other coronaviruses, and they're not exactly the same, they're a little bit different, almost as if this is a new version of a thing that we know about that has a reality, a molecular reality. And I mean, some of these concepts may be hard. A lot of people would not have considered RNA and the way it encodes a protein, but at the level, yeah, take it from somebody who does. There's as much evidence for this as there is for any other gene or any other virus. And I'm not saying we should make this controversy that all diseases are fake and everyone lives forever, because that's clearly not true. Yeah. It's nonsense, but it comes from, I don't know where it comes from, but wherever it comes from, it is not science. And the stuff on this site is deceptive, wrong, bad, and bad in a way that is designed to, if you even just sort of scratch it a little bit, there's just nothing underneath the thin veneer of basically lies. Yeah, so I don't know. You could pick apart any of the crazy bits in greater detail, but there's nothing on this page that's real. I think that's the most important thing. Yeah, this is a piece of fantasy that is masquerading as science. And I like science fiction, but this is just fiction. There's no science here. So, yeah, there's not really a lot more than I can do with this, except to say that, yeah, stay away. This is some evil stuff that is, yeah, it looks like it is meant to sway opinions, but with an appeal to emotion rather than with anything that you can rely on. So everything here is a lie and is completely counterfactual. So there we go. I don't know what else to do with that. Thanks very much. This has been Ask Dr. Ben.